hopping right into this. A little bit curious that this wasn't vetoed. This is definitely a really nice map for Zerg, and Heart is going to be... If this goes on too long, it can be very difficult. Now, Avilo, actually, of all people, showed us one of the coolest strategies to go for on this map, and that's proxying a factory with Blue Flame can be really deadly. We'll talk about that more if Heart ends up going for it. But for now, spawning in the top left corner of the map for an Evil Geniuses, the Red Zerg player, known best as Suppy. Does anyone else Suppy? His opponent in the lower right, playing for Axiom. He's blue, he's Terran. Give it up for Heart. Currently leading the series 1-0. Alright, so Daedalus Point is a map that has been heralded as a bit of a joke by a lot of players. It's taken seriously by some, but the reality is, it doesn't inspire innovative play like, say, Heavy Rain does or Habitation Station. All it's been doing so far is inspiring a lot of cheese, and I don't know if that's going to be the case here for TVZ. One of the biggest points of contestation for the map is, of course, this giant ramp here at the natural. Oops, sorry. Oh, hiccups. 1 second. I'm going to hold my breath. I hope it goes away. Okay, hopefully the hiccups are gone. There's like, because I can't scare myself, right? Anyways, this giant ramp has been a big problem for a lot of people. It takes so much to wall this off. It's like, seriously, like 1,000 resources of depots if you want to try to do as a Terran player. As a Zerg player, though, you know, a lot of people overlook just how dangerous this can be. So, for example, let's forget for a second that Heart is the one who's going to be worrying about this ramp. Because, I mean, realistically, Heart is going to be worrying about this ramp. And even if he gets past the ramp, let's not even talk about this third base. For Suppy, typically as a Zerg player around your natural base, you end up putting double evolution chambers down, you get a roach ward and a spine crawler, and that's usually enough to keep Hellions out of your base. What we saw Avilo do on this map, which it ultimately didn't work out due to a little bit of miscontrol, was proxy Blue Flame Hellions, which was the coolest thing ever. He put this factory like way down here, he built a factory in his main, got like 9 or 10 Hellions and tried to push, and the reality is, there's no way for a Zerg player to fully wall off and protect against that, so you kind of have to let the Hellions through and try and out-damage them before they kill all your drones is the idea. Now, this is a strategy that can and is sometimes effective, but again, we'll see what even happens here on this map. It is a map that definitely not just requires but necessitates different styles of play. Metabolic Boost is going to be on the way here for Suppy really quick, though, and of course for him, it's going to be all about getting control early on. A couple links coming out are going to be able to deal with this Reaper as it comes across the map. Daedalus Point, by the way, is, as much as it's easy to focus on the weird aspects of the map, it is worth noting that it has one of the smaller rush distances of the current map pool. So going from base to base with a Reaper or even with speed links is not too out of the question. Heart choosing to build the command center location is fine for now, but again, it's like, you know, 5 minutes from now. If Suppy doesn't take a natural base, is Suppy not going to take a natural base? Is he going to do a one-base Ling all-in? Hiding the Lings now, knowing that the Reaper's on the way. This is a curious thing to see. No, okay, drone is coming out. It's just a little bit delayed. He is investing a lot into Lings early on, and I think he really wants to catch Heart off guard with this. Heart is going to try and shut down the drone. Suppy decides to immediately build Extractor to make sure that doesn't happen. But with Metabolic Boost coming up here in a moment's time, Lings are starting to get ready to move out. And for Heart, that command center won't finish in time. He's going to have to cancel it. And for Suppy, getting a cancel, even much less a kill, would be great this early in the game. But Metabolic Boost is finishing up. Reapers will not be a problem to deal with. Cutting on top is usually what you want to do, but you cannot escape the wrath of a Metabolic Boost. Lynx are getting top of the SCV right away, forcing a cancel on this command center, if not a kill, like I said before. A little disheartening here for Heart, but unfortunately, we'll have to do that to stay in this game. So Suppy, with a very aggressive amount of Lings, will not be able to break the supply depot wall anytime soon. I think he knows this as well. So just going to take control of the one-base scenario for the time being. Make sure that Heart doesn't expand anytime soon. And we'll try and catch the Reaper. Jumps up the second cliff just in the nick of time. Hellions coming out will not even be able to easily deal with this. I mean, if this was slow Lings coming across earlier and fast, I mean, slow Lings don't stand up to Hellions, just bottom line. But these are speed Lings. They got Metabolic Boost. 2 Hellions at a time are not going to be able to deal with this, and even supply block slightly here is Heart, because he was relying on the command center to finish in relative time. Trying to make it in the main as supply depot is now finishing up. He's going to have to one bases for a little bit, and this is one of the frustrating realities of Daedalus Point. There's just no way to wall this off. Now, to be honest, if Suppy had done this on any other map, this would have been the same result. Whether it was Habitation Station, Heavy Rain, Yansu, lots of Lings early, control the natural base. So it's not like it's the map's fault that Heart had to cancel the command center. It's just the fact that Suppy decided to be very overly aggressive, more so than a Zerg player typically is, combined with the fact that it hit early. But just joining up like a madman behind this, not even taking any more gas. Suppy just going to maintain his sort of Speedling dominance. Going to probably take a third here, and hell, he can probably saturate that too, because Hart, again, he won't be pushing out anytime soon. If he had a starport down, if he was going for a 1-1-1 build, Suppy might be in a bit of trouble, but as we know, that's not going to be the case. Whoa, what happened over here? This is like that thing you ride, Jim Raynor rides with Kerrigan in the campaign. I just realized. Nerd alert. Anyway, Stimpack is coming out of the way for Hart, and of course Starport is on the way too. So, despite the fact that this was a quite frankly a crappy opening for him, he's not panicked and he's not letting this get to him. One of the truest scumbag things the Suppy could have done was like if he had done this and then on top of it gotten Burrow and put a circling down. Oh my god, that was so frustrating to deal with. But Overlord killed in the main, trying to sacrifice him for a bit of information. Will supply block Suppy just a tad. Not fun to see it, not fun to deal with, but. Lots of Marines, lots of Hellions that would otherwise love to push out on the map, but of course he knows he needs to secure this natural with how late and how far behind it is. No third command center on the way. He can't push, which is really, really unfortunate, because this just gives free reign to Suppy to, again, just drone like crazy. He's up almost double the worker count of his opponent. He's got a lot of creeps starting up here, and of course on a map like Daedalus, he's got Overlord spread. He's got the watchtowers. He can see everything, including this Hellion push out. But okay. Suppy is just setting himself up here. Wow, what was that? That was the scariest looking creep tumor if anyone ever seen one. It's like a giant snake just going through the air. Hellions would love to get in here, but of course he doesn't know what Suppy has. He knows there's a lot of links from earlier still probably lurking around. I like the spawning power being repositioned. It's still in range to poke the ramp if the Hellions try to run past it. This is still a really strong push coming from Hart. Suppy again, guys, finds himself without Banelings. Fight will go a little bit one-sidedly here for Hart to start. Actually, this is looking really bad for Suppy. Roachwarren's on the way, but 16 Lings are what's coming out. Good game's gonna go. What the what? What? All right, Suppy should not have lost that series, I feel, but let Hart just catch him off guard in the end. So unfortunate to see him go, but Hart will advance, and my Terran is proud of him.